If you're like me, you like zombie movies. They are at the intersection of popular culture and horror, making us question our humanity and what lengths we'd be willing to go through to survive the infection. When you think of zombies and horror, the first name that often comes to mind, and rightfully so, is Resident Evil. This movie series, based on the Japanese video game franchise by Capcom, has grossed over $1 billion. At one point in time being the highest grossing film based on a game series and the highest grossing horror film series. And it currently holds the title for highest grossing zombie film series. Whether it's the action-packed characters or the creative zombie monsters, or the intrigue behind the Umbrella Corporation, let's review what makes the Resident Evil series so damn good. Resident Evil Afterlife. This fourth installment in the Resident Evil film series was released in 2010. Afterlife was filmed in 3D and follows Alice searching for survivors remaining in Los Angeles after the T-virus outbreak. Teaming up to go against Albert Wesker, the head of the Umbrella Corporation, Chris Redfield, a character from the video game, is introduced. Claire Redfield, Chris's sister, makes a return, but her memory is lost, and the character of Jill Valentine makes a cameo appearance. Alice and her clones lead the attack on Umbrella headquarters in Tokyo, taking out everyone but Wesker, who escapes in a tilt-rotor plane and detonates a bomb, creating a massive sinkhole. Alice boards the plane before Wesker and surprised him. Wesker injects Alice with the antivirus to take away her superpowers. Now we see he has taken the T-virus to gain his own superhuman abilities. As he goes in for the kill on Alice, the plane crashes into the mountains. 6 months pass and we see Alice traveling to Alaska. She is following a broadcast that speaks of a safe haven called Arcadia. There, she only finds abandoned planes, but soon is attacked by a feral Claire Redfield. Alice destroys a mechanical spider attached to Claire's chest. This seems to give her amnesia and calms her down. Once in Los Angeles, they find survivors living in a prison surrounded by thousands of the infected. They team up with a group of survivors and discover that Arcadia is not a fixed location, but rather a traveling cargo tanker traveling along the coast. Although no one has heard news from the ship recently. Alice meets inmate Chris, who says he knows how to escape the prison. After the infected attack, desperate, they free Chris, who reveals his sister is Claire. Soon, a crazy battle breaks out. Bennett steals Alice's plane and makes a break for Arcadia. A giant axe-wielding zombie breaks down the gate and wreaks havoc, knocking out Alice. Claire fends off the Axeman until Alice wakes up and kills the giant Axeman zombie. Alice and the Redfields find their way to the tanker Arcadia. Claire gains her memory and remembers Arcadia is an Umbrella trap to get test subjects. This is what happened to her group that had escaped to Alaska. Following a blood trail deeper into the tanker, we find Wesker has survived the plane crash. The T-virus has revived him, but he battles it for control of his body. Wesker believes only fresh human DNA can keep the virus at bay. Alice's DNA is superior because she retained control despite bonding with the virus, and Wesker believes eating her will help him regain control of his body. The Redfields battle Wesker, while Alice battles Bennett, now working for Wesker. Wesker easily overpowers Chris and Claire, but Alice is able to defeat both Bennett and Wesker. They lock Bennett in a room with Wesker. Once Wesker awakes, he devours Bennett, then escapes in an aircraft, activating a bomb on the Arcadia. However, Alice has rigged the bomb on the plane and it explodes. Wesker, ever the survivor, deploys a parachute and escapes once again. Alice wants to turn Arcadia into a real haven and releases a new broadcast to spread the message to survivors. As Alice and the Redfields watch over Arcadia, it is approached by a squadron of Umbrella aircraft. During a mid-credit scene, we see Jill Valentine, who went missing after the destruction of Raccoon City, is leading the squadron while wearing the same mind control device used on Claire. Resident Evil Retribution 2012. Retribution kicks off where Afterlife ended. Alice and company are on board the Arcadia, and it comes under attack by a fleet of Umbrella gunships led by Alice's brainwashed former ally, Jill Valentine. Alice is captured and we cut to her clone waking up in the suburbs of Raccoon City with her husband Todd and their deaf daughter Becky. We learn this is what happened when the outbreak first spread. The family make their way out of the city with help from character Rain. They are hit by a truck, knocking Rain unconscious. Alice hides Becky inside another house but is killed by a zombified Todd. Meanwhile, the captured Alice awakes in an underwater facility and is interrogated by Valentine. She escapes and rearms, finding herself in a simulation of Shibuya Square, Tokyo. She makes her way into a control room filled with dead Umbrella employees and encounters Ada Wong, one of Wesker's top agents. Wesker appears on a big screen and informs Alice that he and Ada no longer serve Umbrella, because now the Red Queen has been activated and controls Umbrella. It comes to light they are at a Soviet naval outpost used by Umbrella to manufacture clones and create simulated outbreaks to test the effectiveness of the T-virus. The next part of this movie takes place in different simulations set up in different parts of the world. The plan is to meet up with Leon and his crew in the Raccoon City simulator. During the action, Alice and Ada take out 2 executioners. Stories collide as Alice and Ada make it to the Raccoon City simulator, and Becky, who has been hiding, mistakes Alice for her mother and becomes attached to her. Soon the survivors make their way to the submarine pens but are ambushed by Valentine. As chaos ensues, some characters are killed off and the others make their escape. Now fighting on the surface, Alice is able to rip Valentine's mind control device off her chest, returning her to normal. Next, the evil Rain, now endowed with superhuman powers, wreaks havoc and is too strong for Alice to kill. Instead, she shoots the ice around her and Rain is dragged to her watery grave. The group now head to Wesker's headquarters, which is located at the White House, staffed by what's left of the U.S. Armed Forces. Meeting up with Wesker, he injects Alice with another strand of the T-virus, returning her superhuman abilities. They go to the roof of the White House to have a chat. Here, Wesker tells Alice the Red Queen is trying to wipe out humanity. All that's left for uninfected humans are located here at the base. The military and Umbrella Corporation start defending the White House as hordes of T-virus modified zombies begin to attack. Resident Evil: The Final Chapter 2017. This is the 6th and final chapter in the Resident Evil series and meant to bring everything full circle. There are other shows and even another movie in this series, but these 6 movies are the ones we are focusing on. They are a continuation of the same story and characters. Here we learn Dr. James Marcus, the founder of the Umbrella Corporation, had a daughter, Alicia, who was dying of progeria. In an attempt to save her life, he steals T-virus created by Dr. Charles Ashford and administers it to Alicia and others with the disease. One of the children in the study dies and turns into a zombie. Marcus immediately terminates the project and destroys the data. This news devastates Dr. Ashford, who is researching the T-virus in hopes of saving his own daughter. Marcus's partner, Dr. Isaacs, has him killed by Wesker. Wesker adopts Alicia and takes over Umbrella. Now we see Alice wakes from another one of her naps, this time in the White House, after Wesker betrays her. The Red Queen appears and tells Alice she has 48 hours to infiltrate the hive in Raccoon City. Umbrella has created an airborne antivirus that can wipe out all the zombies, but they are waiting for the last few remaining humans to die off. As Alice carries the virus, she does not expect to survive this mission. Alice is captured by Dr. Isaacs. This comes with the realization that it was his clone she killed off in a previous movie. She soon escapes and reaches Raccoon City. She meets up with new survivors and Claire, who survived the attack on the Arcadia. Soon, Isaac's convoy and a horde of zombies track them down. Once defeated, Alice rescues Isaac's human captives. Now Alice and company make their way into the hive that's controlled by Wesker. The Red Queen appears again and tells Alice her program is in conflict, as she can never hurt an Umbrella employee but must also value human life. She explains that Umbrella wants to rid the world of all humans, only leaving the rich and powerful still alive. And they will ride out the apocalypse in cryogenic capsules stored in the hive. Also, the group has a mole, as someone from within is helping Umbrella. One of the characters, Doc, turns out to be the mole, and Claire is captured by Wesker. A cryogenic capsule opens, revealing Alicia Marcus. Now time for the big twist. Isaacs and the Red Queen drop a bomb, explaining to Alice that she is actually a clone of Alicia. After this news, Isaacs plans on eliminating Alice and Alicia and taking the hive for himself. Alicia fires Wesker, thus terminating the Red Queen's protection protocol on him, and crushes his leg with a security door. Doc is killed, and Wesker is given a dead man switch to bombs that have been planted in the facility. Alice and Claire go after Isaacs as Alicia uploads a copy of her childhood memories. Isaacs has an identity crisis and is ultimately killed by his clone, with the clone believing it is the real Isaacs. Alice makes it to the surface and releases the antivirus, killing all the zombies around her and then subsequently passing out. At the same time, Wesker drops the dead man switch and destroys himself, Alicia, the hive, and the hibernating elite. Claire wakes Alice, who survived because the antivirus killed off the T-virus in her system, not the healthy cells. The Red Queen uploads Alicia's childhood memories into Alice, granting her a childhood. The antivirus is now being carried by the wind, and it will take years to reach all the corners of the world. And until it does, Alice vows to continue her mission. So there we have it, a review of the Resident Evil series. Some movies are better than others in this series, but as a whole, this iconic series is very interesting and fun to watch. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please check out my other content and hit that subscribe button.